keep your mouth shut, basically.
Basically. Be nice, basically.
Hi sailors, welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy and I am joined by Shannon today, who is a hairdresser with Steiner, and she is going to be answering all our questions about that particular job on board. So hello Shannon.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm alright, and you?
I am marvellous. Let's just get straight into the questions. So Shannon, can you please go into detail about your job on board as a hairdresser with Steiner? What are you responsible for?
I was responsible basically of booking up my own column. With that, obviously you do have to promote your own services. So you'll go out for an hour or two a day, even in the morning, get your own clientele in, and then you're responsible either rebooking, cross-promoting them, to also cleaning. Cleaning is probably one of your responsibilities because obviously you've got to have high standards all the time.
Amazing. What makes a top hairstylist?
So obviously if you make the most money in the salon, you're really good at cross-promoting, rebooking, retail, and you will be the top hairstylist. You've really got to work hard to stay that first column and kind of just gets you working harder as such.
And just for those who don't know, a cross promotion is when you cross promote to another therapist in the spa. So like, let's say Shannon's doing someone's hair and that client mentions that she's got a sore shoulder. Shannon would take that opportunity to say, oh, have you thought about having a massage? My friend Phoebe is an amazing masseuse or whatever, and then she would get Phoebe a massage. You have someone in for a treatment, you have to try and rebook them, also cross promote, and also retail, like sell something.
And obviously,
I don't know about with you, but with a lot of managers I had, they would offer incentive time off. At the beginning of the cruise, when you had your meeting, my managers would say something like, if you get 5 cross promotions this cruise, then next cruise you'll get an extra 2 hours off. Or
so that entices me more so than money as such, or to have time off. I think because you work so hard, all you do want is, sounds daft, maybe an hour off in the morning. So if your manager says, if you get 2 touch points off, I'll give you 2 hours off, you are going to work so hard just for that 2 hours to even possibly have a lie-in or go out in port. So you will work hard for the time that you want off. So obviously it's exactly the same with retail. If you hit a target, your manager will be like, I'll give you this time off and you can have this day off.
I was on a cruise ship and we were heading to Bora Bora, and I desperately wanted time off in Bora Bora. So obviously my manager, squeezed us all, and she was like, right, if you sell this much worth of stuff, you'll have time off in Bora Bora. And you best believe I did it.
You literally do, because you literally want it so bad that you'll do your best work to try your hardest just so you can have that time off.
As a hairdresser for Steiner, did you have to have experience on land before you could work for Steiner?
Yeah, I think it's like any normal hairstylist, especially for a big company like this, it's normally a year or 2 on land. So obviously I had about 6 years experience, obviously qualifying in my MVQ level 3, and then from there I literally just worked in the salon for about 5 years, and eventually it was 6 years, and I was like, I need to challenge myself, I need to do something new.
Did you apply on the Onboard Spa website?
Yeah, I think so. It was something like that. I literally googled it, typed in onboard spa, anything as hairstylist working abroad, and it was literally, that was the top one that came up, really. So
and the rest is history. What was your training experience like at the Steiner Academy?
I actually find it really, really fun. So we literally had our own little salon as such in the Steiner Academy. My group was actually quite small. It was of 11 girls, obviously, and boys, from different nationalities. So obviously we had all sorts. They were literally just mainly talking to us about product knowledge. Obviously they were saying that we have to sell. So we're teaching us selling techniques, literally knowing everything about this product that you need to know. They were teaching us new techniques. I think it's mainly key to learn your timing as well, because timing is very, very important on ships. Obviously you do need to keep in time. If you're running behind, it's not good and it's not fun. You literally instantly become really stressed. I think that's basically it, really.
Because obviously as a fully qualified hairdresser, you know most things anyway, so like you say, it is just that you have to learn. Whereas if you're going in as a massage therapist, although obviously you know how to massage, you have to learn all the LMS routines.
So it's very different for us, because obviously we know how to blow dry. We might blow dry all differently. Unfortunately, you'll never change that at all. But the only thing that they could possibly change is your timing. So obviously you'll have teachers watching you do a blow dry on each other, which is amazing. Or we grab the massage girls if they're not busy and we blow dry their hair. Obviously, again, we will literally sell to them, obviously advise them what their hair needs, everything. As well as that, obviously they taught us barbering as well. They would teach us how to shave. So we had models come in, men obviously, with beards, and they would literally teach us how to do a facial on them and obviously shave their beards. So it was quite common, especially if there's a wedding. The groom obviously wants to come in for a nice shave and a scalp and face massage, and the bride is obviously right next to us, obviously getting the hair done. So it was really common, and that was really interesting actually, because I'm not just a hairstylist. I learned how to do a massage and do some sort of facial on a gent. So it was very different, but it was very fun actually. So it was really good in that respect to learn something different.
And do you possibly remember the timings?
I think with even my type of length of hair, they would normally say 45 minutes, retails worth of that, do your best to cross promote, rebook, anything like that. I don't really remember the timings that much, but I think it was really around about 35 to 45 minutes a blow dry.
And you know what, thinking back, there was so much tension between the therapists and the receptionists because they would never book them enough time. Obviously, if you're a receptionist and you're not a trained hairdresser, you just look at someone's hair and you're like, oh well, you've got long hair, so I'll just book you this much time. But then the hairdresser's like, yeah, but did you see how thick it was? I need an extra 15 minutes.
Sometimes with me, we obviously booked our own. Some people actually came into the hair salon, so I was always at the reception, so I always booked with my girls. Such, and at least we can see the hair ourselves and book it at extra time, so we used to fiddle about with that.
I think in the end that's what happened a lot. The hairdressers were just like, if someone wants to book in, just either bring them through to the salon or just get me to come to reception so I can tell you how much time I need. Because as you said, if you run over, there is nothing more stressful, especially if you've got a day where you're fully booked and it's like, well, where the hell am I going to catch up? What made you decide to work on cruise ships, and was it what you expected when you got on board?
The reason why I wanted to work on cruise ships is I think I just wanted to challenge myself. I wanted something new. I didn't want a 9-to-5 job, the same every single day. And even though I was busy, I just wanted something new. I wanted something to challenge me. I applied for it online and it wasn't as I expected it, only because it was a lot harder and no one explains the hours that you will really do. Like they say to you in the training academy, you will be doing long days, but no one actually explains, no, you really will be doing long days from like 12 to 14 hour shifts. You really will be. But I think the friends that you make and the friends that you work with, they become not only your best friends, but literally your family. So then you end up loving work because you're working with your family, friends, everything, and they're also your neighbours.
Do you have to take anything on board with you? I think you have to provide your own hairdryer, your own styling equipment, is it?
Yeah, so everything that you want on board. So for instance, your hair straighteners, your curling tongs, everything like that, literally just bring them on board, because more than likely they don't have anything like that. You will be bringing your own equipment. Your uniform, when you go to a training academy, you will pay for a certain amount of money with your training, and you will get 2 different uniforms. So you'll get one, which is a white one for the Steiner Training Academy. It beautiful.
That's sexy.
And then your second one will be the uniform that you will be going on ships. Now, because I worked with P&O, my uniform was purple. I got given 2 uniforms. I think the girl that was actually leaving, she gave me her uniform as well. So I near enough had 3 uniforms. So I was really lucky, but some people aren't as lucky as me.
Definitely collect as many uniforms as you can. Like if someone's leaving and they're not planning on going back to Steiner, definitely ask them if you can have your uniform, because they're not cheap if you want another one. And you do sweat a lot because of it, especially being a hairdresser. Like it's hot, you're in the salon, you're moving your arms a lot.
Blow drying everything.
Blow drying, so...
And it is the worst thing when you literally just finished a 12-hour shift and then you have to wash your uniform.
When you were at the Steiner Training Academy, did you stay at the YMCA?
Yes, it was.
And how was that?
Yes, it was actually okay. I think the greatest thing about the YMCA, and this sounds really horrible, is it really puts you in the deep end about being very close to someone. Like on ships, you don't understand when someone says your cabin's tiny, it's really tiny. And I think the YMCA rooms obviously are tiny. I had 4 people in mine,
Yeah, me too.
and 1 small bathroom. So it was kind of like, I'm glad it happened because it really did make me understand and get me used to that environment for when I actually do go on ship. It was like, oh, actually, there's actually 1 roommate here instead of 3.
Yeah.
So the YMCA isn't the nicest thing, but it's the best thing that gets you used to before you go on ship. It's amazing to actually sit with a load of other hairstylists and be like, oh my God, we've all got the same dream together. We've literally all got the same goal. And we are all so excited because we've literally just achieved to get into this company, and we're all doing exactly the same thing. We're all going to be working on cruise ship, and we all think it's cool as hell.
What was your first day like on your first cruise ship with Steiner?
The first day was okay. It was just the most nerve-wracking experience ever. Obviously, the ship turned up. Oh yeah, so my manager came to get me, and he took me upstairs to his office in a spa. We'd done some paperwork, so nothing fancy. And then obviously, then you meet most of the spa girls. And obviously, they're getting ready for that embarkation day. So it's quite, not stressful, but they're obviously all there. From there, you just familiarise yourself around spa, unpack your equipment, go downstairs, put your uniform on, and you will be starting your first day. In that day, I think I actually had my first customer at like 3 o'clock, and I was thinking, oh my God, I don't know how to work everything, I don't know where the shampoo is, and it was the most nerve-wracking thing. But I think once you're there, you literally just have to get into it, and that Steiner is really well known to literally just chuck you in the deep end, and you will do it. But I think that's what basically builds you to become such a good hairstylist as well as a confident person, because it's like, this is my first day, but actually, you know, you actually have to come across really confident, like, yeah, I'm loving it.
So, can you please go through a normal embarkation day as a hairdresser with Steiner?
So our normal embarkation day was pristine, clean, tidy, and so sanitising everything, cleaning all your equipment and setting up just like you were about to have a guest in. Obviously paperwork everywhere, so you're literally showing the offers that you will do. I normally, and my other hairstylists will stand in the salon with me, and we will talk about our blow dries that we do and what sort of services that we do offer.
So you would start your day at what, 12:45 on an embarkation day?
Yeah. So obviously it would start midday. So obviously it's quite nice that you actually have the morning off.
The morning off. Yeah.
But when you obviously go back to the spa, you go back to your spa. You will have a meeting with your manager, and she will give you the targets of this cruise, what you should achieve, what she thinks you will do.
Do you remember a target that you had for a week?
Yeah. I think my target was around about 1,500 to 2 grand.
A week?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Too sure.
Yeah, so you have the meeting, she gives you your targets, and then you would, for the rest of the day, you would kind of stand in the salon and tell people about all the services you offer, and ideally book some treatments in. You would finish embarkation day at 8:30 at night?
Normally at 9 o'clock we would finish, because obviously, we're still doing promotions throughout the whole day. Obviously, you will have your sail out of Venice, wherever you are. And then from that, obviously, people are still wandering the ship to see, oh my God, what does it have around? And obviously, you just catch the odd person, like, hi, I'm Shannon, I'm the hairstylist on board. We do these types of services. So you really just, you know, even though you talk to people, you really do sell yourself, but you just get the customers engaging and get booked in.
Can you please go through a sea day?
It depends if it's a formal night or not, but if it's a normal sea day, and if it's nice weather, it can normally be quiet. Obviously, if you do have the people that don't like the sun, they will come and get their hair done or be around spa. But more than likely, people are just sunbathing outside. It does normally start to pick up from about 3 o'clock, because that's when people are actually going to get ready for their evening meal. But no, actually scrap that. To be honest, yes, sea days are normally busy because obviously they have nothing else to do and they just want to have their blow dried.
No, but like you said though, I think it does depend on the sea day. Obviously, like if the cruise ship has an event going on in the evening, like formal night, or maybe there's a guest entertainment, you know, there's something going on, then there is going to be women who want to come and men who want to come and get their hair done, especially for that occasion. Whereas if it's just a normal day, then I know what you mean though. Like
Yeah.
the mornings are usually quieter, especially on the first
Yeah.
C day, which is when, you know, if you were quiet and you didn't have anything in, that's when you would maybe do some sales training with your manager, or you would go out on promotion and try and get guests in.
Yeah, that's it.
So a formal night, that you're going to be absolutely chock-a-block, aren't you?
Yeah, so obviously when people obviously come on cruise ships, they get told when the formal nights are. Normally within a week cruise, you'll probably have about 2, and they will be your sea days. And with that, you will normally be booked from 8 in the morning till near enough 7 o'clock at night. Obviously you do have people that eat late, but it is, when I say it's a busy day, it is a busy day because you've also got to remember you've got to either rebook them, you've got to get something out of these people. You can't just do their hair and then see you later. You can't. So to get the stress off your manager, you've literally either got to rebook them, you've got to cross promote them, or best thing to do is sell to them.
And then what about a port day?
A port day was a bit unusual because obviously most of the people would be off. Some people normally do stay on, but it's very, very rarely that they normally do get off because that's why they are on the cruise ship for.
Yeah.
So in the morning it is busy, but your manager does make you either do training with her or him, or you will go on a promotion and try and get the remaining guests that are on board to come into the spa to obviously boost your target up. So
port days are quite quiet normally, would you say?
Yeah, I would say port days are quite quiet really, just because everyone's out. Once we set sail, so if we set sail about 6, people will start to come on a little bit early from that, and more than likely if they've gone to the beach, they're just coming to the spa and like, can I just have my hair washed for this evening? So it all depends. The most depressing thing is you're looking at Italy through a window, or wherever. You could be in Spain and you're just like, it's really nice weather.
I used to pray that my manager was going to get off so that like you can just kind of do what you want. And some of my managers were, I mean, I guess it was kind of bad because they were never in, but it was great because you were like, well, I can just chill now because she's not here.
I can paint my nails.
I can paint my nails, and I can get Shannon to do my hair, and I can, you know, or like
quickly,
I do a massage on one of the, you know, whatever. But yeah, so you work really hard on embarkation day and sea days, but I reckon on a port day, like, you know,
you are a little bit lazier. Obviously you keep your standards high because once that manager comes back on board, either she's had a good day or a bad day, you just want to make sure that your area is pristine clean, you've got 3 touch points, you've rebooked someone. You know, if she comes back and you're like, I've done nothing, like not good.
But the thing is, I found that if I had got like a few rebookings and my retail was good, my manager didn't really mind me dossing off as such.
Yeah, like because you worked so hard. Yeah,
exactly. Like they only really mind if like you haven't done anything and you're nowhere near hitting your target. Whereas like if you've had embarkation day and maybe 1 or a few sea days and you have nearly hit your target, they're not going to be on your back as much. Like
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah. So obviously, if you work hard, they will leave you near enough alone.
Leave you alone.
Obviously, if you are a lazy worker, do expect to be shouted at the odd occasion because you know they need hard-working people on there.
Before you worked for Steiner, had you done a job where you had to sell products, or was this your first job like that?
This was actually the first job that I've ever had to near enough be a hairstylist, but also you do have to sell. You would normally wash your client's hair and you would explain what type of shampoo I'm using. So I'm using Kerastase Discipline as such, it was my favourite. And then obviously you would go on to near enough ask, do you want some serum on your hair? And obviously again, you would explain, this is really good for your hair because da 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 da. And I think it was just one of those things that actually became a habit because you know you have to do it. If your manager comes in and she's noticing that you're not actually talking about a product or whatnot, it's, you know, also not a good thing. So it literally just became a habit. You do have your favourite products. Obviously my favourite products were the serums and some shampoos. So again, you just fall back on them. And I think it's one of those things, if you have confidence in yourself and if you believe in this product, you will sell because you are literally giving the client the honest truth about their hair. And trust me, this works. And if you really do believe in the product, you will sell it.
Yeah. Did you ever get stressed about selling?
100%. I mean, sometimes you obviously have your bad days where you've tried on every single guest and none of them are buying, and you're just like, oh, what is wrong with me? But so yes, it is very stressful, and obviously when you come to the end of the day, you obviously always have a meeting at the end of the day. How was your day? Everyone, how was your day? Shannon, how was your day? And if you sit there and say, I didn't sell nothing, it is not a good thing, and do be prepared that your manager is going to be pretty annoyed.
It's almost embarrassing. Like, I used to
100%.
get, which is ridiculous because you make friends with everyone in the spa, so actually no one's judging you, everyone knows how hard it is. But I always used to get really embarrassed if I got to the end of the day and I was like, I didn't sell anything.
I think Anya Fermi was the worst column as well, because it's the hardest column to get someone in for, and I think, God, fair play to you, because I used to obviously be with Lucy all the time, and
not me, another Lucy. But even with hair, like, in some ways it's harder because the products that you are selling are less expensive, so you have to sell more of them to hit your target. Whereas with Inothermy, like, if I sold 2 detox capsule packages, I'd done my target. But obviously because they were more expensive, they were harder to sell.
Yeah, so obviously if our manager would give us a target of 1,500, she'll probably say about maybe 250 will be retail. I want you to hit 250 today. And you're like,
yeah. Oh my God.
It is like but it is possible, because the price obviously of all the whole package that you're going to hopefully try and sell is 150.
Yeah.
Obviously if you do succeed. So it is possible, but it is very stressful when you don't sell anything and your manager pulls you up on it.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why it's always good to say, I didn't sell anything, but I got her in for a rebook, or I cross-promoted her to my friends. So you need that backup just to save yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
But retail was very, very stressful if you didn't do any in the day. Obviously, if you don't sell, that's how you fall back in the column. So that's how I would become second column or third column. So obviously, the more you sell, the higher the column will be, the busier that you will be.
And the thing was with Steiner, it is all commission based, and you have to be in the spa at work regardless of whether you've got anyone in. It's better to have a fully booked column and be in work than have no one in and be in work, because you're still going to work a 12-hour day, but you're not actually going to earn anything. Like, you're working for free, basically. Can you choose what ship you go on after your first contract?
I believe you can have a say, and also you can near enough pick a time. So for instance, if they email you back saying Azora's available in May, and you don't want to go in May, but you want to go in July, you can actually say, no, can I not have that one, but can I have a different ship in July? They're pretty flexible like that.
Do you have any advice for future Steiner hairdressers on selling products?
I think it's just believing in yourself that you can do it. Obviously, confidence is key. You actually have to have so much confidence. I was actually quite shy before I started Steiner, and my family always used to say, fake it till you make it. And I think if you believe in yourself, believe in your products as well, because if you really believe in your products, you're so confident about this product that will help this hair that you more likely sell and you do better.
I think with selling, the thing that I notice is education goes a long way. So like, I never used heat protectant on my hair. I remember my friend, one of the hairdressers, described it as like, if you straighten your hair without putting heat protectant on it, it's like frying an egg without any oil in the pan, or something like that. But she just like educated me on how it worked and how it would protect my hair, and I bought it. I do think, especially with hair, like, obviously you're going to get some clients who know loads about hair, but the majority of them don't actually know. It's like Olaplex. Like, I love Olaplex, but it took someone to explain to me how it worked and how it was going to help me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy that. So if you're struggling to sell, like, I definitely try educating them.
I think that's why I literally sold okay sometimes, because if you really don't understand the heat protection or a colour shampoo, I would, one of those recommendation cards, so I would turn it back, and also you'll have a black piece of paper, and I would draw a hair shaft as such, and I would explain how this product works. This is what it will do, this is how it will help, and your hair will benefit from it. education is definitely key.
Like, Steiner is hard and it's a lot of things, but it is amazing in terms of education. Like, I learned more working for Steiner than I did at college. And also just not just about being a therapist, but about yourself as a person. But
Steiner really does teach you to just become open-minded. Confidence as well. Confidence is obviously the most key one out of it, and I think it generally does make you a better hairdresser because you are put with so many different hairstylists. I mean, I had brides come in one day on their wedding day and be like, I get married today, I want my hair up in a bun, and you're like, no trial whatsoever. They're getting married today, and you have to obviously make that look perfect as you can, but with that you are also stressed because you're like, oh my goodness, this is a wedding. So yeah, it is hard. It is very, very hard. But the best decision I ever done and the best thing I've ever done. So
how long do you have on vacation in between contracts?
So I got tour every month is 1 week at home. So obviously a Steiner contract is 9 months. They say 9 weeks, but after 6 weeks you go insane and you just want to be back on board. So
Right. How often can you get off the ship? So like, how much time off do you get?
Unfortunately, it's not a lot with Steiner. So it was pretty much a day and a half. You never really get a full day off. If you hit your target, like me and Lucy were saying earlier, if you hit your target, your manager will reward you with a day off, and that is a thing to work towards. But unfortunately, if you don't, normally your days off will be 1 day and a half, and it will be split up into near enough 3 days. So you'll have 3 mornings off as such. But obviously with that, that's only 6 hours, and you'll be running off in Spain, trying to see as much as possible, and then run back on ship. And obviously it is nice, but what you do is in a rush, basically. But you do get a day off. It's just 1 day and a half, unfortunately.
What are the top 3 skills you need to be a good Steiner hairdresser on a cruise ship?
The top 3 skills, I would say timing, because timing's the most important thing going, especially on our formal nights. You will be back to back. You will also have to retail, cross promote, rebook everything. So I would say timing is absolutely key, because you're going to have someone waiting for their blow dry, and then they want to literally get out to go and have their dinner with their husband. So timing's key. Confidence is key as well, because obviously they normally do rebooking with me. Also, they will believe me if I say, my friend Phoebe, she's absolutely amazing, massage therapist, go to her, she'll sort out your shoulders. So confidence is definitely key. And I think the other one is good with others. I think team working is very, very important, and you do need to bounce off each other, because you will have a bad day. There's no ways about it. You've got to be good to each other and stay friends, and you literally become family. So don't be mean.
And I think the beauty industry is quite renowned for being a bitchy industry anyway. And then you've got this group of girls who are working together pretty much 24/7, and then when they're not at work, they're living together. Like, there are going to be arguments, there is going to be drama, but if you have someone who is working in the spa who's a bit of a shit stirrer, I promise you, you will be the most unpopular person on board. And honestly, news spreads like wildfire when you get on board. And
on ships,
and you know, if you are a bit bitchy, you're definitely going to have that knocked out of you when you get on board, 110%.
And if you're that bitchy person that's made this certain person upset, you've got near enough the whole spa team staring at one person. It's just, it's not nice to be in.
And I'm sorry, but it's not only the spa, because obviously the spa people are friends with the other departments. So before you know it, the whole ship knows that
the whole ship hates you.
You're an arsehole.
Yeah.
So
literally, because obviously I was good friends with you, and you're in the shops, and it was just like we would bounce off each other, and then you were friends with the art people. So it literally just spreads.
Yeah. So keep your mouth shut, basically. What is your favourite and your least favourite thing about being a hairdresser for Steiner?
I think my favourite thing is it makes you a better hairdresser, because you're literally chucked in the deep end and you learn so much more of that. If you mess up, you will have to fix it, and you know, the whole spa knows as such. So it really does teach you an awful lot, and again, it makes you be confident. My least favourite is in the greatest way you can put this, the hours you do is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And obviously it would be great if you got paid for it more.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the pay isn't exactly great, but the experience pays off for it. You don't really care on how much you're getting because I'm having so much fun, and then you're off in Spain or Italy having pizza. So you kind of forget about the money because you're literally having so much fun. But if I'm honest, the least favourite was the hours and not enough pay, really.
Yeah. What is your favourite and your least favourite thing about working and living on a ship? About ship life?
Ship life. My favourite thing is the atmosphere on a cruise ship or any ship you're on is incredible because you're all in this tin and you all literally just click together. You all drink together, you all eat together, and you basically work. You can moan that you're tired, but you are all in it together, and it's just so fun because I don't think I really met a super negative, grumpy person unless I'm having a bad day. Everyone is literally so positive. So the friends that I met on the ship will be my friends for life. Yeah. Yourself. Yeah, I would say that's my favourite thing. My least favourite thing is being away from family. Because it gets quite hard, especially when you're doing a 9-month contract. You won't see your family. The distance is hard. If you're in Australia, time difference, it is different. And again, obviously, one of your family members, like myself, got married. You miss everything like that. You miss parties. So it is quite hard, especially if you're having a long day and you're like, oh, I want to just be home. Yeah.
To anyone wanting to be a hairdresser for Steiner, what advice would you give them?
My advice would be go for it. It was the best decision I ever made. I would say, I'm not saying it's made me the best hairdresser, but it's made my skills much better. So it's challenged me an awful lot. And yeah, if you can work hard, go for it. Normally when you have Steiner on your CV, it's pretty much the world's hardest beautician company to work for. If you have that on your CV, they're going to instantly look at you and be like, Jesus, you're a hard worker. Obviously, you've had to sell, so I'm sure you can sell. But the fact that everybody will know that your days were 12 to 14 and you don't have a day off. So if you have it on your CV, you're going to know enough to get in anywhere because they instantly know that you're a hard-working person.
Well, those are all my questions. Amazing. Thank you very much for doing this, Shannon. And to all the people watching, I really hope you learned something. I hope this has answered all your questions about being a hairdresser on a cruise ship. And if it has, then please let us know in the comments. And also if you have any other questions that we haven't managed to answer. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye!